Okay, hello there. So we're going to welcome back to Intro to Stats. We're going to continue our discussion and on correlation. And this problem has us filling out a scatter plot. Okay, so most of the time, use the TI-84 calculator to answer the following. That's great, but they're going to make us do the scatter plot here. So what we're going to do is we could plot different points. Okay, some problems have this, and some problems, sorry about that. Some problems have this, and some problems don't. Okay, and I apologize for that. Okay, I wish they all had them, but they don't. So all we're going to do is we're going to choose, say, a dozen eggs. That's going to be our x value. Okay, notice they put the eggs here on the x. The price of y is the price of milk. So our x is going to be our explanatory variable, is going to be the price of eggs, and our response is going to be the price of milk. Okay, so what we have to do is choose which one. In this case, it doesn't seem like how do you tell which one is which? And in this case, I'm glad that they gave us the prompt because sometimes it's a little hard to tell, and that's okay. So what are we going to do here? We're just going to type these into the computer, and we're just going to say plot. Okay, so I have 2.01. Okay, and then you can use tab or you can use the button. 3.47, 3.47, and it will say plot point. Okay, and then notice here they plotted us a point. We're going to continue along this. Rather than have you guys watch me do this, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. And all I'm doing is I'm just typing these numbers into the thing here, into the coordinate system, 1.94, 1.94. And then the second one is going to be 3.43. Okay, 3.43, plot point. Again, you could turn this off, do that. We have 2 points plotted now. We'll go back to this, and I'm just going to do this until I've got this done. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this while I enter these things, and let's see what happens. Okay, so all I did was pop these numbers into the thing. I just used the plot a point tool, counted up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Check to make sure we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here. So all I'm doing is checking that. I just don't want to change for something so trivial. So we'll check. Fingers crossed. Hooray! And then we're ready to go on. Compute the correlation coefficient and round the answer to at least 3 digits. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up to the top here. We're going to go to stat. Turn it on. Go to stat. Okay, and all I'm going to do is say I'd like to clear the list. I'd like to clear second function list 1, comma, second function list 2. Enter. Make sure my lists are cleared. Go back to stat. I'm going to edit. I'm just going to put my x's in list 1. It's completely up to you. Okay, we have a choice later on. So I'll say 2.01, 1.94, 1.80, 1.65, 1.77, 1.96, 1.69, and 1.67. Okay, and then I'm going to use the arrow to go over. Okay, and then we're just going to do that. I'll go ahead and pause it so you don't have to watch me type in all of this data. I'm delighted by that. Okay, so once I have my data in here, once I have the numbers that are in here, and I know it's a little tedious to do this, but you know, that's just the nature of the beast here. Okay. So there we go. We can double check if we want. Okay, we can check this. The only thing I really did was make sure that there are eight values. Okay, just to make sure that that's taken care of. So we're going to hit stat. We're going to go to tests, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say down to E here. That's going to be lin reg t-test. That's going to give us all the information that we're going to want. Mostly in this case, we just want the correlation coefficient, right? So we're just going to give it list 1 is x, list 2 is y. That's fine. We're not going to worry too much about any of this. Okay. this is for a little bit later in the class. We could go back and look at this, go back and say calculate, enter, and then look at that. We have, it says just find our R. Okay. And again, all of these things do mean something, but right now we're in the intro class. Okay. That's fine. We're just in the intro class, round to 3 decimal places. Normally I'd say rule of thumb is 4, but okay, they said 3, so we'll go with 3. So this is 0.321. Okay, that's 0. It's going to round up to the right 0.32. This 0 here is going to round up to the next one up because that 6 is going to round it. So we have 0.321. Okay, it seems like a nice number. Check. All right, hooray, we got that one set. And then let's see here. In a month where the price of eggs is above average, we would be the price of milk to also be above average, okay? Because they're giving us a positive correlation. This number is a positive number, even though I could look at this scatter plot and say, are you sure you want to assume a linear relationship? Not really, but I also don't really want to argue. I mean, it makes sense that the price of eggs goes up, the price of milk goes up. I would say there's a lurking variable like gasoline, maybe feed for the animals. Okay, but it makes sense to me that if the price of eggs goes up, the price of milk go up. Not that one is necessarily causing, but these would be related. They would be influenced by the same factors, like price of gasoline would cause both of these prices to rise. So we're going to assume that because we have positive correlation, okay, even though we're not going to look too closely at the scatter plot here, we're going to assume that these are positively correlated. Even though you could look at this and make a very good argument for like, are you sure you want to say these are linear related? No, I'm not. But it does make sense to me that if one goes up, so would the other one go up. And again, it would be, farm workers' salaries, uh, you know, cost of gasoline, cost of heating, cost of feed, whatever. Okay, so that's what we would say of that. Okay, so I would expect the price of milk to be above average since R is a positive correlation. Okay, so if there's a month where the price of eggs is above average, I would expect the price of milk to also be above average because it's going to, they're going to be moving in the same direction. Okay, because they're both agricultural products, so whatever lurking variable is there is probably going to be affecting both. I don't want to, maybe not equally, but they're both going to be affected by it. So check, hooray, and then we can move on with our lives. Okay, what's the following best interpretation of correlation coefficient? When the price of eggs rises, it causes. See, here's the thing. When it says causes, like the price of eggs is not causing the price of milk to rise. Right? We don't feed cows eggs. All right. They might be related, but the cost of eggs is not causing the price of milk. And the price of milk rises, it causes the price of eggs to rise. We're not saying the chickens are not going to drink the milk. Okay, so there's probably something going on behind the scenes making both of them rise. I'm not going to say that egg causes milk to rise or milk causes eggs to rise. I'm just going to say, how about changes in the price of eggs or milk do not cause changes in the other, but the correlation that the prices tend to go up and down together. That I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, we'll check that one and we'll go on. And that's the kind of thinking you want to do with all of this. Okay, so thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. So thank you.